you can't fall in love with someone if you don't go through those cycles of continual, I like them, I might be losing them, oh, they really like me, it's just in my head. I'm losing them, oh, no, it's just in my head. Your brain always causes this. It's very taxing on us to be at such a high state of feeling and appreciation. That feeling is only reserved for whenever we are going to lose something. Right? That's only there to conserve what you already have. And so once you have what you already have, it'll go down. It can't always stay up. The key is to find ways to allow it to arise from time to time. You can't mentally psych yourself into that feeling. You have to lose it. And the beauty about life is that life comes with conflict. Life comes with conflict, and life comes with misunderstandings. And life will always give you those opportunities to feel like you lost something and regain it. How? Because we don't know everything. We only see the world from our perspective. We don't know what's going on in somebody else's mind. We don't know what's going on the other side of the street. We can only focus on the here and now. And as a result, there's going to be things that you don't know. And how you handle uncertainty, a lot of times, is an indication of how much anxiety you're going to feel. And most people do not handle uncertainty pretty well. Most people panic at the sight of uncertainty, just like a child panicking at the sight of a dark room with a devil inside. We also react to that the same way. So whenever you're in a relationship with someone, you're always going to have moments of insecurity. You're always going to have moments when you feel like you're going to lose this person, right? And unfortunately, we always end up appreciating our partners when we feel like we lost them and regained them. Our mind plays tricks on us. If our partner just pulls away a little bit because of work, yeah, they might have work, but there's a part of our brain that says, what if that's an excuse? You know? And so we have a lot of loose strings of insecurities because there's a lot of things we just don't know. And as a result, whenever we feel like this person might be making excuses not to see us, and then the next time we see them, they do something that removes all of those doubts that they don't love us. The removal of those doubts comes with a sense of relief. Or better yet, when you're talking to someone and they haven't texted you in the whole day, and then right before the day ends, you see their text and you feel like a sense of relief, and your whole night brightens up. This is the feeling that you have to make someone feel. Anybody that fell in love with you, you made them feel this way without knowing you. Maybe you didn't know, but something happened in your life when you were talking to them that made them feel insecure. Maybe it wasn't something you did, but maybe it was something that they saw in their imagination. The point is that you can't fall in love with someone if you don't go through those cycles of continual, I like them, I might be losing them, oh, they really like me, it's just in my head. I'm losing them, oh, no, it's just in my head. Your brain always causes this. Any slight of you pulling away from them because of work or maybe your kids or whatever, your grandma died, I don't fucking know. Any excuse that causes you to focus on other things, a human being, normal human beings, naturally feel like maybe you're losing interest. That's just human nature. And the problem is a lot of people are so insecure that they never allow that natural lowering of people's self-esteem. It's like a parent who doesn't allow kids to experience conflict because it hurts, or a parent who shields their kids from different bacterias or different foods, right? For example, nowadays kids have more peanut allergies than before. Why? Because kids are getting less exposed to peanuts in early childhood. So as a result, when they grow older, a lot of them end up having peanut allergies. But if their parents exposed them to the peanuts, a lot of kids wouldn't develop peanut allergies. And it's the same thing. A lot of us have relationships with people, and we sort of don't allow them to feel that pain. We don't allow them to feel maybe I'm losing interest in them because maybe you're not giving them all of your attention, right? If we don't allow the person to miss us, to feel like they need you, to maybe doubt whether or not you really have to work. All of those things are the important parts of falling in love, people. And if you're just like a parent who doesn't expose your kids to peanuts, if you don't do that, you're gonna have a sensitive kid who's allergic to fucking everything, even the air he breathes. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a partner who doesn't really doesn't have that never really experienced pain on your behalf, right? Because by experiencing pain on your behalf, it creates the obsession in the person's brain for you. Unfortunately, people insulate their partners from those types of relationship scares. They avoid conflict. They avoid arguing. And studies show that couples that argue and have conflict are couples that are healthier. Why? Because the couples that don't argue, it's not that they don't argue and they're devoid of aggression. Every human has aggression. Every relationship argues. It just means that they're suppressing, and it's gonna come out when it explodes. People are usually honest when they're angry, right? You have those types of relationships that the only time they say what they really feel is when they're angry, and when they say that, it comes off as too sharp, too strong, and too personal, and it ends up hurting the relationship. When if you would have just talked when you guys weren't angry, the relationship would have lasted, because you would have created the type of environment that allows conflict, right? So that's why you have to learn to confront your partners. You have to learn conflict resolution. And if you're curious why this happens, let me explain it to you guys in a different way. This is from my writings.
From a scientific perspective, the brain has a remarkable ability to fill in gaps and amplify certain experiences, emotions, or sensations. This phenomenon can be observed in various scenarios, such as missing someone, reminiscing about the past, or craving certain foods. One explanation for this exaggeration lies in the way our memories are encoded and retrieved. When we miss someone, our brain tends to focus on the positive aspects of the relationship, filtering out negative experiences.
It's almost like the halo effect. It's the halo effect. It's confirmation bias. You want to be with them, so your brain has to frame the way you see them in your mind in a way that it knows that you're going to gravitate towards them. Like, for example, if you're a crackhead and crack has ruined your life, your brain is only going to tell you the crackhead moments of you having fun as a way to inspire you to go crack out, and it'll completely mute and completely remove from the picture the reality that you're doing it in a dumpster. You've lost your family. You're not even going to think of that. It's only going to exaggerate that one part for the sole purpose of removing the pain that you feel and go towards pleasure.
This selective memory retrieval leads to an exaggerated perception of our affection towards that person. The brain naturally amplifies positive memories to reinforce our emotional connection and cope with the absence. Similarly, when we think about the past, our brain often emphasizes the positive aspects and downplays negative experiences. Mm-hmm. This nostalgic bias.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could also call it also creates repression. So where you repress the negative memory and you only exaggerate the positive. This happens a lot with people with Stockholm syndrome, where they'll just forget about the bad things that the perpetrator did, and it'll only focus on the positive things. This is what nice people do. People who get played, who get taken advantage of, especially naive people, tend to repress a lot of negative things and only focus on the positive. Children do this more. That's why children are so dumb. That's why they're so dense. All right, let's keep going.
Serves as a psychological mechanism to boost our overall well-being. By recalling predominantly pleasant memories, the brain creates a sense of nostalgia that evokes feelings of happiness and contentment. This nostalgic lens allows us to romanticize the past and remember it more fondly than it may have been. Mm-hmm. In the case of food cravings, the brain intensifies the desire for a specific food when it is temporarily unavailable. This can be attributed to the brain's reward system and the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine.
Or like for example, if you cut your arm off, right? A lot of people will have something phantom limb syndrome, where I don't know if this is phantom limb syndrome, but where you feel like your hand is there and you feel the pain. Like you're like, I know my hand is not there, but I can still feel it. And a lot of people feel like it's sharp. Like your brain is used to certain sensations. When it gets used to certain sensations and it's not there no more, your brain will recreate it. Like I said, if you suffer hearing loss and you can't hear like you used to before, your brain will then just create more sounds in your inside of your head to overcompensate. When you miss someone and they're not there for you, your brain will create a mental image of them, which will cause you to crave that mental image to become a reality, right? And if the person actually manifests in real life, it'll just create a complete sense of relief. And you'll notice you'll feel positive emotions. You'll feel like the release of emotions, and you'll want to bond with them. But the feeling of relief that this reality is not true, that it was just in my head, creates that feeling of like, oh my God, I like them. Like, fuck everyone, I want this person. You create salience. Salience is a psychological term for what we choose to focus on. And we only choose to focus on what's important, which receives more salience, and also what will cause us to die, which will also receive even more salience. That's why parents focus more on the kid who stresses them out more than the kid who's perfect.
When we want to eat something but cannot, the anticipation and desire for that particular food grow stronger. The brain accentuates the craving to motivate us to seek out and obtain the desired food, as the satisfaction of fulfilling the craving is associated with pleasure and reward. From a broader scientific perspective, these exaggerations can be understood through evolutionary psychology. Our brains are wired to prioritize survival and maximize pleasurable experiences. Amplifying positive memories, intensifying cravings, and magnifying affection for loved ones serve as adaptive mechanisms to enhance our well-being, maintain social connections.
So when you're in prison and you're in there for 15 years without knowing it, your imagination is going to start filling in the blanks because there are things that you don't know. So what happens? It'll start giving you fantasies. You're never going to leave. This is going to be the worst thing ever. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. And you'll notice that there's an involuntary voice in your head that comes with it, with images, intense images. And it'll exaggerate what's not there, right? It'll make the situation worse. Live your normal life. That the normalcy will cause the person to feel like they're not, because you're not prioritizing them, you know? And again, there's nothing wrong with prioritizing people. What I'm trying to tell you, this is just the message. I'm trying to encourage you to live your normal life. Living your normal life will always cause people to feel insecure because you're minding your business and they feel like maybe you should give them more attention. And just like a child, they'll resent the fact that you're not giving them attention. And some people with pride will leave and you don't want them because they're not vulnerable. Like you gotta be willing to be rejected for the sake of loving somebody. You have to. Or else you don't really love them, you love your ego more, right? So with this comes, you have to expose your ego and say, shoot me. It's the sense of insecurity. And if you're not willing to put yourself in that vulnerable state, or if they're not willing to put themselves in that vulnerable state, then that means that they're not for you. Let me show you what I said about this. Listen.
Love often comes with a natural sense of insecurity due to the vulnerability and emotional investment involved. This insecurity stems from a fear of losing the person we love or not being reciprocated in the same way. However, this insecurity can actually intensify our thoughts about the person and make us think of them more frequently. The psychology...
It's the insecurity that creates the love. Why do you think humans are so close to each other? Because they know that by themselves they can't survive. Humans were skinny, weird-looking, bipedal creatures. We don't have any physical protections that other animals do, or even Neanderthals did. So because of our insecurities, it caused us to get closer to each other. Even though we didn't want to, we had to. So the insecurity forces people to get close to you. Now, they may not feel like they're forced, but their brain will say, I don't like feeling this sense of insecurity. And as a result, I want to get closer to this person to feel secure. That's what love is. Love is there to take you from the insecure state to secure.
Behind this phenomenon lies in our desire for security and reassurance. When we feel insecure in a relationship, our minds instinctively seek ways to regain a sense of stability and certainty. One way to achieve this is by thinking about the person we love continuously. This constant thinking serves as a form of psychological self-soothing.
Like a dog who smells the shirt of its owner when it's not there. That shirt will keep you in that dog's weirdo looking mind. And when they see you, they'll feel that sense of relief. But that shirt will also tell that dog that you're not there. It's a constant reminder that you're not there, because in their minds they see you, but when they look around, you're not there. So it makes the reality more shitty, and it makes their imagination better. So now when they see you in person, it feels like their dreams came true. It's like seeing an alien, people. You've only seen aliens in your mind. Or like, it's like going to the zoo. It's like, oh my God, that's fucking Coco the chimp. He's there. It's not here no more. He's there. There's a feeling of seeing things in your mind and finally seeing them in person that has almost like a sublime experience. And that's what happens when you're not around and they see you. That's in Robert Greene is writing a book about the sublime, and I imagine he's going to talk about that, the sublime nature of love, and how losing love and regaining it has a sublime experience. It's almost like otherworldly. And that's why people gravitate towards it, because it's a way to escape reality. It's a way to escape the mundanity of normal routine life. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, emotional mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you could also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You could browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman. So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called a Masculine Man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy, to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.